Hello everyone, welcome back to Elite Tales. Here we discover the emotional and captivating stories about Elon Musk. In this video, we will capture the heartwarming moments of famous entrepreneur. Before we begin, I request you that please subscribe our channel for more interesting videos. It was a cold winter evening, and the Tesla factory buzzed with the sounds of machinery and the hum of hard work. Elon Musk had spent the day engrossed in meetings, brainstorming ideas for the future, and overseeing production at the plant. But something unusual had happened that afternoon, something that stuck with him and tugged at his thoughts as the hours passed. During a routine walk through the factory floor, Elon had encountered a young woman named Maria. She was a quiet, determined employee working on the assembly line. Despite her calm demeanor, there was a weariness in her eyes that Elon couldn't ignore. She had approached him cautiously, holding her lunchbox in trembling hands. "Mr. Musk," she began softly, "I know this is unorthodox, but is there any way the company can help with meals? Just a little more for the cafeteria, maybe for people working double shifts." Her words weren't demanding, nor was she complaining. Her voice held gratitude, but also a quiet plea. Elon, caught off guard, nodded and assured her that he would look into it. But something about her expression lingered in his mind. It wasn't just about meals, it was about something deeper. That evening, as Elon sat in his office, Maria's face flashed in his memory. He found himself wondering about her life outside the factory. Why had she asked for food? Was she struggling? He decided he needed to know. And so, setting aside his usual evening routine, Elon left the factory and discreetly followed Maria at the end of her shift. The streets were cold and dimly lit as Maria walked home. She didn't have a car and carried her belongings in a worn-out bag slung over her shoulder. Elon followed at a respectful distance, his curiosity mingled with concern. The further she walked, the more the surroundings changed. The streets became quieter, the houses smaller, and eventually, Maria turned into a narrow alleyway lined with old apartment buildings. She stopped at a weathered building with peeling paint and climbed the creaky steps to the second floor. Elon parked his car discreetly and decided to wait. He watched as a light flickered on in the small apartment, illuminating a space that looked cramped but clean. Through the window, he saw Maria drop her bag and immediately begin cooking in a tiny kitchenette. Soon after, two young children ran to her, their faces lighting up as they hugged her tightly. Maria smiled, but even from a distance, Elon could see the exhaustion in her eyes. Unable to hold back, Elon knocked on the door. Startled, Maria opened it cautiously, her face turning pale when she saw who it was. "Mr. Musk," she whispered, her voice trembling. What are you doing here?" "I'm sorry for showing up unannounced," Elon said gently, "but I couldn't stop thinking about what you said today. I wanted to understand." Maria hesitated before letting him in. The apartment was modest, bare walls, minimal furniture, and a faint chill in the air that hinted at a lack of heating. The children peeked out from behind their mother, their wide eyes filled with curiosity. "Please come in," Maria said nervously, motioning to a worn-out chair. Elon sat down, his gaze taking in the surroundings. "I work 2 shifts at Tesla," Maria began, her voice steady despite her evident discomfort. "But it's not enough. My husband passed away 2 years ago, and it's been hard ever since. I try my best to provide for my kids, but sometimes it feels like I'm failing." Her voice cracked at the last word, and she quickly wiped away a tear. Elon felt a lump rise in his throat. He had always prided himself on taking care of his employees, but sitting here in this tiny apartment, he realized there were struggles he had overlooked. Elon spent the next few hours talking to Maria and playing with her children. The little boy, Alex, was 6 years old and loved drawing rockets, while his 8-year-old sister, Sophia, dreamed of being an engineer. As the evening went on, the children grew more comfortable, their laughter filling the room. Before leaving, Elon turned to Maria. "Thank you for letting me into your world. I can't promise to fix everything, but I promise to help." Maria nodded, her gratitude evident. "Thank you, Mr. Musk. That means more than you know." The following day, Elon called an emergency meeting with his HR team. He also set up a fund to assist employees facing financial hardships. But Elon didn't stop there. He personally ensured that Maria's rent was paid for the next year, her apartment was furnished with essentials, and her children received scholarships for their education. On top of that, he arranged for her to work in a role that allowed her to spend more time with her kids while earning a better salary. Weeks later, Maria's life had transformed. Her children were thriving, and she no longer worried about putting food on the table or paying rent. One evening, as she tucked her children into bed, Alex looked up at her and said, "Mom, Mr. Musk is like a superhero, isn't he?" Maria smiled, her heart full. "Yes, Alex, he really is." At the Tesla factory, employees began to notice the changes too. The cafeteria offered free meals for those working long hours, and the new programs made everyone feel more valued. Elon's decision to act on a single conversation had sparked a ripple effect, changing lives far beyond Maria's. One day, Maria approached Elon at the factory, her eyes brimming with tears. "Thank you," she said, her voice breaking. "You didn't just help me, you gave me hope." Elon smiled, his own eyes misty. "Maria, you inspired me. Sometimes we just need someone to show us what really matters." And in that moment, surrounded by the hum of machines and the buzz of progress, it was clear that the greatest innovations weren't just about technology, they were about humanity. Elon watched Maria walk away, her head held high and her steps lighter than before. It wasn't just her life that had changed, something within him had shifted too. That night, as he sat in his office, he couldn't shake the feeling of fulfillment that came from helping someone in such a meaningful way. For years, Elon had been focused on technological breakthroughs and exploring the vastness of space. But sitting in Maria's apartment, surrounded by her children's laughter and their gratitude, he realized the profound impact that small acts of kindness could have. It wasn't just about changing the world, it was about touching individual lives in a way that truly mattered. The next day, Elon decided to make the program he had implemented at Tesla a cornerstone of all his companies. He called it the Heart Initiative, a series of programs designed to prioritize the well-being of employees and their families. From affordable housing assistance to childcare support, the initiative ensured that no employee would have to face their struggles alone. News of Elon's actions spread quickly. Maria's story, along with the changes at Tesla, inspired other companies to reevaluate how they supported their employees. Articles were written about the innovative programs, praising Elon for his approach to leadership. But for Elon, the recognition wasn't what mattered. What mattered were the stories of people like Maria, who now had the chance to build a better life for themselves and their families. One day, a package arrived at Tesla's headquarters. Inside was a handmade card from Alex and Sophia. On the front was a drawing of a rocket surrounded by stars, and inside, a simple message. "Thank you for helping my mom, and for being our hero. Love, Alex and Sophia." Elon placed the card on his desk, where it stayed as a constant reminder of why he did what he did. Months later, Elon received an invitation to dinner at Maria's apartment. She wanted to thank him in person for everything he had done. When he arrived, he was greeted by the sight of a warm, cozy home filled with the smell of freshly cooked food. Maria smiled as she opened the door. "Mr. Musk, I don't know how to repay you, but I hope you'll accept this dinner as a small token of our gratitude." Elon stepped inside, his heart swelling at the sight of Alex and Sophia proudly showing off their homework and drawings. They were thriving, their faces alight with joy. Over dinner, they laughed and shared stories. It wasn't the kind of high-profile event Elon was used to, but it was one of the most meaningful evenings he'd ever experienced. Before leaving, Maria handed Elon a small envelope. "It's not much," she said, "but it's from the kids and me." Inside was a photo of Alex and Sophia holding up a sign that read, "Thank you for believing in us." As Elon drove home that night, he thought about the incredible power of connection. Technology could take humanity to new heights, but it was compassion and empathy that truly brought people together. He realized that the greatest legacy he could leave wasn't just about innovation, it was about creating a world where everyone had the opportunity to thrive. And in the quiet of the night, under a sky full of stars, Elon Musk felt at peace, knowing he had made a difference not just in Maria's life, but in the lives of countless others. As Elon drove away from Maria's home, the faint glow of the apartment lights lingered in his rearview mirror. His mind replayed the evening, Alex and Sophia's laughter, Maria's heartfelt gratitude, and the warmth of a family that had finally found hope amidst the chaos. He thought of how many more employees like Maria might be silently struggling, shouldering burdens that few knew about. The next morning, Elon called a meeting with his leadership team. His usual direct, no-nonsense tone carried a distinct emotion that hadn't been there before. "I don't want any of our employees to feel like Maria did," he began, his voice steady but impassioned. We're in a position to change lives, and we're going to start today. Let's make it easier for people to focus on their work and their families without being crushed by their circumstances. The room fell silent as he outlined a series of new initiatives. Childcare stipends, flexible work hours, expanded healthcare benefits, and an anonymous hardship fund where employees could request assistance without fear or stigma. He also proposed creating a program to identify and address systemic issues affecting the workforce, ensuring no one slipped through the cracks. His words weren't just commands, they were a call to action. Inspired by Maria's story, the leadership team rallied around his vision. Word of Tesla's employee-centered policies spread quickly, and the response was overwhelming. Other tech giants began to follow suit, implementing similar programs to support their workers. Employees across industries shared their stories of struggles and newfound hope, creating a wave of change that no one could ignore. For Maria, life was unrecognizable from just a few months ago. Her children were thriving in school. Her schedule allowed her to spend more time with them, and the weight of constant worry had lifted. She had even started saving for the future, a dream that once felt impossible. One evening, as she tucked Alex and Sophia into bed, Alex asked, "Mom, do you think Mr. Musk knows how happy he's made us?" Maria smiled, brushing a stray hair from his forehead. "I think he does, sweetheart. And I think he wants everyone to feel this happy too." Several months later, Elon received a handwritten letter at his office. It was from Maria, thanking him once again for his kindness and for the changes he had inspired. Attached to the letter was a small photo of Alex and Sophia standing next to a drawing of a rocket they had made, with the words "Thank you for being our hero" written in bold letters. Elon placed the photo on his desk, alongside the many accolades and awards he had received over the years. But this one meant something different. It wasn't a symbol of success or achievement. It was a reminder of the humanity behind everything he worked for. That evening, as he sat in his home office gazing at the stars, Elon found himself filled with a renewed sense of purpose. It wasn't just about reaching Mars or revolutionizing transportation, it was about lifting people up, one life at a time. Elon's focus on helping his employees and fostering a culture of compassion became a defining element of his legacy. The Heart Initiative wasn't just a company program, it became a movement that challenged industries to rethink their priorities. Every year, Tesla hosted an Employee Appreciation Day, where workers and their families could come together to celebrate their achievements and share their stories. At one such event, Maria stood on stage with Alex and Sophia by her side, sharing how one man's compassion had changed their lives. Elon watched from the crowd, his heart swelling with pride. This wasn't about recognition, it was about knowing that his actions had created ripples far beyond what he could have imagined. As Maria concluded her speech, she looked directly at Elon and said, "You didn't just help me, you gave my children a future. For that, we'll always be grateful." The audience erupted in applause, but Elon simply nodded, humbled by the impact of a single act of kindness. Years later, as Elon reflected on his journey, he realized that some of his most significant achievements weren't the technological marvels or the groundbreaking innovations. They were the moments when he chose to listen, to understand, and to act with empathy. Maria's story, and the countless others that followed, became a cornerstone of his life's work. It was a testament to the idea that even the smallest gestures could lead to profound change. And as the stars twinkled above, Elon knew that in the vast expanse of the universe, the most meaningful legacy he could leave behind was a world filled with hope, kindness, and opportunity for all. Elon's story with Maria and her children didn't just fade into the background as time went on, it became a tale that inspired millions. News outlets caught wind of the incident and showcased how one of the world's busiest and most influential figures took the time to help a single mother struggling to make ends meet. The narrative resonated with people from all walks of life, sparking conversations about corporate responsibility, the importance of empathy, and the value of truly seeing the people around you. Maria's own life took a remarkable turn. With the resources and stability provided by Tesla's new initiatives, she was able to pursue a degree in business management, a dream she had put on hold for years. Eventually, she rose through the ranks at Tesla, becoming a team leader and an advocate for her peers. She often spoke about her journey at company events, her words a beacon of hope for those who felt trapped by their circumstances. Elon's encounter with Maria became the catalyst for a larger movement within Tesla. Employees began to open up about their challenges, no longer fearing judgment or retaliation. The company culture shifted, prioritizing open communication and a sense of community. It wasn't just about work anymore. It was about creating a workplace where people could thrive both professionally and personally. Other companies started to follow Tesla's lead, implementing similar programs to support their workers. The Heart Initiative expanded beyond Tesla, becoming a foundation that offered grants and resources to struggling families across the country. Maria became one of the program's ambassadors, sharing her story and helping others navigate their own paths to stability. Maria's children, Alex and Sophia, grew up surrounded by love and opportunities they hadn't dared to dream of before. Inspired by their mother's resilience and Elon's kindness, they both pursued careers dedicated to helping others. Alex became a social worker, focusing on supporting single parents like his mother. Sophia, on the other hand, pursued engineering, determined to work on innovative projects that made life easier for everyday people. When she finally earned her degree, she sent Elon a heartfelt letter thanking him for the chance to believe in a brighter future. Elon read the letter with a smile, remembering the little boy and girl who had proudly shown him their artwork in that small, dimly lit apartment. Years later, during a Tesla employee appreciation event, Maria and her children surprised Elon with a heartfelt tribute. On stage, Alex and Sophia presented him with a framed collage of drawings and letters from Tesla employees who had been touched by his initiatives. Maria spoke with tears in her eyes. "You didn't just help me that night, you ignited a spark of hope that has spread across countless lives. Thank you for showing us that no one is invisible, and that kindness can change everything." Elon, known for his composed demeanor, was visibly moved. He stepped onto the stage and addressed the crowd. "This," he began, gesturing to the college, "is why we do what we do. Innovation isn't just about technology, it's about humanity. It's about lifting each other up and creating a future where no one is left behind. Thank you for reminding me of that." The audience erupted in applause, but the moment wasn't about accolades. It was about the shared understanding that even the smallest acts of kindness could ripple outward and transform the world. As the years went by, Elon's legacy expanded far beyond his technological achievements. Stories like Maria's became the heart of what he stood for: a commitment to progress that prioritized people above all else. Maria's story became a testament to the power of empathy and the profound impact of seeing and supporting one another. It reminded everyone that while technology could connect the world, it was compassion that truly brought people together. And as the stars continued to shine above, Elon Musk's story became not just one of innovation but of hope, a legacy of kindness that inspired generations to come. Thank you for watching this heartfelt story. If you were inspired by this act of kindness, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more emotional and uplifting content. Together, we can celebrate the power of compassion and the impact one person can make. See you in the next story.